This recipe is for my super soft, freshly milled 100% whole grain wheat bread. You can find the full recipe in the description. Here I'm weighing out my wheat berries. I'm using 90% hard white and 10% rye wheat berries, and I'm milling in my Nutrimill Classic. While that is milling, I'm going to move that to the side and weigh out my ingredients directly into my mixer bowl. I'm using room temperature water, and I'm adding in all of the ingredients except for the salt and the yeast. This is going to help give more time for the gluten to develop in the dough. Now I'm mixing everything. So the goal is for everything to be well incorporated. We're gonna let this mix until it forms a nice dough ball, but we're not gonna mix for very long at this stage. Once we get a nice dough ball, we're gonna go ahead and cover it with a towel. That's gonna sit for 15 to 20 minutes, and while that's sitting, I like to measure out my yeast and my salt. Here I'm adding in my yeast and my salt, and I'm gonna let that knead for about 8 to 10 minutes. And I immediately remove it from the bowl once it's done. And I like to take my dough out and form it into a nice neat ball and spray the bowl before I put the dough back in. And I'm also going to spray the top of my dough and cover it. I am covering my dough with a shower cap, but you could cover it with a towel or a plastic wrap. Now I'm punching it down. I like to weigh my dough so that I have 2 exact loaves, but feel free to eyeball it. It will still come out lovely. When I weighed my loaves, they each came out to 847 grams before being baked. Now that I've measured out my dough, I'm going to go ahead and shape my dough into a nice tight log. And I'm shaping it like this to build a good amount of tension in the dough. We want good tension in the dough so that when it rises, it doesn't spill over the pan, and also so that it has good oven spring in the oven, meaning that it rises well inside of the oven. And I just pinch the seams of my dough. I'm using USA Pullman pans. These are 9 by 4 by 4 inches. And I'm pushing my dough down into the pan. That way I have a nice flat level top to my loaves once they're finished. And again, I am shaping this into a nice tight log. And when you're shaping it, you can feel the dough getting tighter and tighter the more you manipulate it. These are going to rise. It takes about, depending on the temperature of your home, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half for them to rise. And I like for mine to rise about an inch above the pan. Here is a before, just after shaping, and here is an after of it fully risen, and another picture without the shower caps. These went into the oven at 350 for 35 minutes. You can also take the internal temperature, and it should be between 190 and 200. These loaves came out so soft. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys just how soft these loaves are. I'm going to go ahead and slice and show you guys a slice just to see how soft these are, and they are absolutely delicious. Very, very soft. The full recipe will be in the description. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message or leave a comment. Thank you.